This is Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We enthuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes in BW and beyond. Hello out there in cyberspace. Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe here. I'm excited once again to come up with another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. Always excited, always thrilled to share with you another life-changing story about business, about entrepreneurship, something exciting, something from which you can learn a lot and do something for yourself with. Can I just ask a small favor? You strike that notification bell as well as the subscribe button. We want to grow this particular podcast to over 10,000, and that's why your subscription count. Did I say 10,000? No. I meant 100,000. We're already at 15,000 and beyond, and we want to get 100,000. So please, we need your help. Strike that subscribe button, please. Let me welcome my guest, Mr. Imaan Pule. And at this time, sir, you are now part of the Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast family. And go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Mr. Imaan Pule. I'm from Kauai, and I was born in 1985. I grew up in Gaborone. I went through the journey of entrepreneurship from the time I actually left my job at Mascom. It's when I actually started to get into the route of trying to learn the entrepreneurship. What really inspired me into the entrepreneurship line is a friend of mine called Mr. Chex Lekalake.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he used to be our clients at Mascom. And every time he used to come there to come and sort out his bill and everything, and that's how we became friends. And he's someone who loves football. So I used to play football. I was at Flamingo de Albertos under Bra 16 Sidikoa and Mr. George Mohopudi. Yes, so, and Chucks one day invited me to football at Gaps Club. So we used to play for the same team called Mixed Bag, yes. Mixed Bag, it had a lot of people there. We had guys like Nicholas Zakem there, the late Romolo Momotswaledi. We have Mr. Dili Matenge, his brothers.
He's now the CEO of BHC.
Yes, his brothers there. We had Mr. Puma Matware. Yes. We had a lot of people there. So as young as I was, I knew that Chucks actually recruited me so that I can come and help them there. You see, so it was an honor to be around those people.
I know Chex Lekalake is quite a prominent businessman.
Yes.
So he's gone quiet these days.
Yes, it's actually him who actually really inspired me, and after spending a couple of times with him, and then I started comparing now the corporate industry and the entrepreneurship lifestyle. Then I just realized that, it's worth the risk on the other side. Yes, that is when in 2012 I then decided that I resigned at Mascom. When I resigned, I had a conversation first with Chex before I resigned. I told him that, Chex, I want to leave my job. And he asked me, why do you want to leave your job? And I said, because I want to be like you. I want to be like you. So I told him how much I was earning at Mascom, and I said to him, if I can secure half of it, then I think I can be out there. And he's a great man. He said, you know what, come through, I will help you in whatever you want. So he said to me, I'm going to give you that money that you want, but I'm not saying you are going to work for me. It's just to help you. So I was very grateful. It was the first time I could see someone say, no, I'm willing to help you without you having to repay me or anything of that sort. But because I knew that in life anything can happen. Yes, there could be some natural disasters that can happen and that thing can come to an end. So I didn't become comfortable at the same time. So I did offer myself to help him. You see, I made myself available. And because I wanted to be like him, it means I have to spend more time with him.
Were you like his assistant or personal assistant, PA?
Something along those lines. Yes, but I spend more time with him. He had these guys that actually work for him, but I came there and he now could ask me to do some of the things for him, which required a bit of academic knowledge. So then I just continued with him, helping him in so many things, and he helped me in some of my first projects that I tried. And I was that guy that when I faced the challenge, I'll run away immediately. I remember he bought a self-service machine for me one day after I pitched it to him, that this machine will be nice, people will be able to it will serve people nicely and there won't be any problems.
What does it do?
A self-service machine, it was a machine that was selling airtime. And intercape bus tickets. So this machine, the first place, it was at Botswana Post. Yes, when I brought it in here, I took it to Botswana Post because I wanted them to see the kind of machine that I was actually offering, because I wanted to actually get into the selling of airtime business and to be able to integrate a lot of services that are customer faced into the whole system there. You see, I think it was at the time when they were introducing to be able to renew a license at the Botswana Post. Yeah, this was in the early, I think 2013, 2014, somewhere around there, you see. Yeah, so, and then from Botswana Post, then I moved it to Square Mart. So what happened at Square Mart, I went to see, actually, Mr. Gulam Abdullah's son. His name is Musa. He's a friend of mine. He's younger than me, but yes, he's still a friend of mine. A very sharp guy in business. So I sat down with him. We had a discussion, and I told him, "Look, I have a machine here. So this machine, this is what it does." I showed him everything, and he was quite impressed about it. And then from there, he facilitated that I actually have that machine at Square Mart. Yeah, it was there for some time there. But at that time, I knew nothing about business. Yes, there's the machine. There's where I buy airtime. There's people are buying airtime online on the system, and I have to keep managing everything there. There's airtime. So I didn't know anything about cost in business, because every business has got costs. You can't actually own the whole supply chain. It doesn't matter who you are. Someone has to give you something in the whole product that you are actually selling, you see. So, but because I didn't know all these things, eventually the machine just died. It collapsed. It faced challenges there. It failed. It was mismanaged. I'll be honest with you. I mismanaged the whole business. And then from there, the business now was running on deficit, and then I couldn't sustain it.
Was marketing also a challenge?
Marketing wasn't really a challenge, because I strategically positioned it at Square Mart, looking at the foot traffic that goes into Square Mart and comes out. So as you walk out of Square Mart, you'll definitely face the machine right in front of you. And to be honest with you, I used to get customers buying, because I was also selling South African airtime. I used to have customers buying MTN, Vodacom, data, even the Intercape bus tickets. Because if it's closed, because it was a live integrated system, so if you buy at my machine, it's the same as you buying at the shop, at the offices, because of the way it was integrated. So I actually wanted to use that machine to integrate it into so many, but it wasn't really easy.
Where was the challenge?
The challenge was, you see, you are coming up with a system that I'll say back then, maybe we as Botswana, we didn't have confidence in it. And the integration, of course, it came at a cost for you to be able to link live platforms. So, like, I wanted to put it to BPC when they were doing the electricity thing. And it was a process. I know nothing about tenders. How do you deal with a parastatal? How do you put up this? And it was me just being all over, just trying, and I couldn't manage, you see. Then I started trying all other companies as well that I knew that they dealt with customer face. But the biggest challenge was reputation, and they didn't know me at the end of the day. Okay, you have a very good concept, but why should we invest in you? Why should we give you access to our servers? Why should we give you access to our systems? You see? So those were the challenges that I was actually faced with in terms of expanding the business. Then eventually, then I just decided to abandon it. Yes.
Because the sales were down also.
Yes, the sales were also down, you see. And then now, but the engagement was good, because every time you were to check how many people actually interacted with the machine, it was quite a good number of people who actually interacted with the machine. Yes. And then from there, then it collapsed. After it collapsed, I went back to Chucks. I told him, I'm facing a challenge. He said, no, I've just been watching you. But it's good, because that is how you learn. So now I'm not going to give you a solution. You're going to have to come up with your own solution. Because that was your machine. I bought it for you. And I said, take it and start your own business with it. He paid about 60,000 for that machine. I remember very well. He paid 60,000. And before he bought it, actually, we had to visit. We're in South Africa, and this machine was at one of the hospitals. Yes. And then he saw it there, and then we met the guy who assembled these machines, and he was telling us about the transactions. So it was just a high volume thing, you see. So, but unfortunately, I just had to watch it go down. But I'm gonna bring it back. I'll be honest with you.
When he challenged you to find a solution, you didn't find one?
Yes. I to be honest, I had no one actually to run to and ask in terms of. So I'm faced with a challenge like this. What happens? Chuck's also being a busy man, he was also busy with his own things on the other side, and also I was on the other side, and sometimes I'll just get stuck, you see, and I will turn back to my young friend Musa Abdullah, and he will give me an advice, and his advices were very good, because I remember one day I wanted to get another machine, so, and then he said to me, Imaan, you know, if this machine can't buy you another machine, most of that you don't owe it, then you're not doing something right. Maybe you want to expand so quickly. I think maybe you should give it some time. And you can imagine.
Advice.
Yes, and you can imagine, as young as he is, but of course, because he grows up into a family of entrepreneurs, it's all he knows at the end of the day. You see, he's been exposed to all those things. Then from there, after the whole thing collapsed, then Chuck said, no, come through. Don't worry. I'm still here. Let's keep pushing, my brother. He started asking me, okay, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. Consultancy basis. Do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. And also at the same time asking me, have you been able to find anything out there? Any opportunities, you see? So I was like, no, I'm still looking. I haven't found anything and stuff like that. So the whole time I'm with Chucks and everything, then I had another brother who actually is more dear to me, Obi. We call him Obi.
Obi, okay.
Yes, Mr. Obonetse Mutelis. You probably know him, the chairman of Spedu.
Okay.
Yes, he's still part of my life. I've known him since I was young. So I've always been around older people all the time, because I'm that guy who always wanted to know what is coming. Yes. So, and the only way to know what can possibly happen ahead of you is to spend time with elderly people, because they can guide you and they can see that there's a challenge ahead of you. So try and avoid it and move on the other side, you see. So I then went back to OB. We had a chat. We discussed. I told him what my challenges are, and he always used to advise also from on the sideline, because he was like my brother to me when I was still with checks there and stuff like that. So through associations, then I have another friend called Mr. Naim Bamji. He does he's with HRMC. Yes, yeah. So I used to engage a lot with him from football also.
Yeah.
Yes, because they love football at the home. So he would invite us over to his house for braai and stuff like that and everything. So I used to enjoy that company. We played football together. I used to all the time come and play with us, Imaan and everything, and it was good. You see. So being around him, I started now interacting with people from his cycle from there, right? So it was quite an interesting cycle at the end of the day. You get there, you find people that you have only seen on maybe some prominent businessmen that you've always heard about them and
you've read about them in the newspapers or something.
Yeah, but now you're at the same table, very humble, they're all eating, and everything is just right there, you see. And I'm one person who likes listening. Yeah, so if I'm at a place where there are more than 3 people, more than 2 people, I keep quiet. Not because I have nothing to say, but I one person who just likes listening. Yes, and through my association with Naim, I met another big the man who actually inspired me into this whole, who gave me, I'll say, the best lessons, who gave me a very huge turnaround, Mr. Mohammed Ismail. So he's into the petroleum industry and the food industry. Yeah, through Chicken Licken and different filling stations out there.
Very well for himself.
Yes, yeah. So I was that guy who was very impatient. As youngsters who are so impatient, we see someone being successful and we don't know their journey. We already want to be like them. So we then started interacting, and our interaction was based on social interaction, because I'm one person who loved running and we used to run together. So like when you are running and you are walking, you're always going to have that conversation all the time. So as and when we will go run together, we'll have conversation, just talk about anything in life and everything, you see. And then he then started asking me some personal questions, like, so what do you do? What is your plan? You see, just showing interest into my life. Like, what do you do? I said, no, actually I consult for checks. He said, yeah, checks. No, I know him very well. Yes, and everything and stuff like that. So he used to actually pick me up by Check's house when we would go run, and then he'll drop me off there, you see. So then one day he was acquiring one of his businesses. It was a new acquisition. And then he asked me if I'll be interested in helping him. Yes. And I said, yeah, no.
To acquire that business?
No, to operate. To operate the business. You see. But then I said, but I know nothing about petroleum industry. All I know is I drive to that filling station, I tell them 95, 93 or diesel, and then I'm out. As for what happens there, I don't even know. But nonetheless, I said yes, because I was like, I'm gonna have to learn. Yes, because I'm one person that when I get into an environment, I observe the culture first before I start asking questions. And so you can see how people live. Because if you ask questions first, they can change their behavior towards your expectations. And then you don't get to know them fully at the end of the day, you see. So he was traveling somewhere, and then he said, look, there is one site that I want you just to go land there. Because I'm away, just take care of it. I'll be away for 2 weeks. Just go there and just make sure that things are being run properly. He didn't tell me what to do. He said, just go there and make sure that things are being run properly, you see. So And then I started going to that site. I'll get there, I'll sit, I'll watch, I'll interact with the staff to try and understand exactly what is going on, what is happening. Of course, having accounting background, then I had interest in seeing the controls that are in place. Is everything flowing well? So I'll ask a question first, and then someone will explain to me, not knowing that the explanation they're giving to me, they're actually giving me the processes in terms of this is how we do things.
Okay.
So because they want
You're
to be
actually
correct.
reverse engineering. You're breaking it down so you can understand how the whole thing works.
Yes. So because they are being correct in answering my question, they're not realizing that actually they're giving me an opportunity to understand. So now when I see something happening going off the line, I actually ask them, okay, so now and then now they realize very late that actually the whole time I'm trying to understand what is actually happening in the business. And when he came back from
After 2 weeks.
Yes, after 2 weeks, actually he found that I had actually made some changes in the office, in the back office, because there was some mismanagement that was happening. So he found that I took one of his managers and I made her a cashier.
Yeah.
He was shocked. This young man, I asked him to come and sit here and just watch, and
Changes
all he
things
does,
around.
he just changes the things around and everything. So of course he was upset because he was like shocked or what's really happened. So only to realize that after I did all those changes, his head office actually had been able to pick some shortages of funds. So for proper investigations to happen, you separate the two because we're two managers, so you can't keep them in the same office. So you have to restrict one from going to the office because you are looking for evidence. Yeah, just to find out what's happening there. So there was a guy that he actually promoted from one of his filling stations to go and manage that site. So the rest of the people, they were acquired with the business, which is why actually I had to separate them. And then this one that he trusted a lot, that he promoted, is the one that I was engaging with, and also telling him that, Chief, you are the only person that we know here. Remember the other guys that came with the business. So it's you who actually have to explain to us what exactly happened. But knowing a human being, at the end of the day, he refused because he thought he was smart. Yes, and I told him straight, I said, you know what, if I'm going to invest my time in the whole thing and you not coming out clear, then it means there are going to be more consequences to you. So Uncle Mohammed comes back. I actually call him Uncle Mohammed. He comes back and he reversed everything that I've done. So as we walk out, I walked up to him. I said, Uncle Mohammed, if you reverse my decisions and you want me to help you at the site, you are going to make your staff undermine me.
You're undermining me also.
Yes, because they will feel that we can always complain to Uncle Mohammed and we'll come back and everything will be reversed. And then I think that's when he realized that, you know what, I think also I did not look at things objectively. Yes, I asked him to stay here, but he went beyond just sitting. Yes, he went just beyond just sitting, and he actually went and helped me. And we're able to pick few things after he got a report from the thing. Then we immediately went back inside, and then we put things back to how he found them when he came back. Yes, and then I spent some time that side at one of his sites, and then I made sure I started cleaning, and then we had to involve the police because there were lots of funds that were actually missing there.
There was a lot of fraud.
Yeah,
there was a lot of stealing.
Yes, there was lots of fraud there. Yes, and then from there that's when he actually then started seeing the type of person that I am. Then we became even more closer. Then he said, no, I want to move you from there. I want you to come here into Gaps and be able to help me in Gaps. Yes. Yeah.
Gaps is headquarters.
Yes. So, but at one of the sites. So then I continued there. And then 4 months, 5 months, I became that impatient guy again. I remember I went to his office. I sat down with him. I said, "Hey, uncle, I'm quitting." He's shocked. Why are you quitting? I don't know. I don't see growth. You don't see growth. Now he's shocked. Ooh. It's like, okay, no problem. But I hope you quitting doesn't mean it's our relationship now breaking down. I said, no. We're still going to be running together. For 6 months, we kept on running together. And every time we'd meet, he would ask me, what's going on? What's happening? What's going on? What's happening? And I'll keep updating him. And then one day, he said, you love running and everything. Have you ever thought of maybe getting into the fitness space? I said, yeah, no, actually, that's something that I really love. Then he said, okay, fine. Look for a school. I'll pay for your school. Imagine. I've been a blessed guy since.
Yeah.
From checks now to Uncle Mohammed now.
Yeah. The school for where you train.
Yes, the
yourself.
school for me to get certification.
Yeah.
Yes, so that I'm able to make money for myself. Because it's something I'm passionate about. Then I say, yeah, no, well and good. Look for a school in Joburg, everything. And then he gave me the money. Went to my school. I got my certification.
As what? As a coach?
As a fitness instructor. And then I also did nutrition and hydration. Yes, because it's something that I really love. So from that, there was a birth of Penalty Box.
That means you not only advise people on their fitness, but you guide them on the food as well.
Yes.
So you are more or less some sort of dietitian?
No, I wouldn't call myself a dietitian. But I did hydration and nutrition. I can give you the basic. Yes, I can give you the basic and say, no, don't drink this water this time. But it doesn't mean that, doesn't qualify me as a dietitian. Yes, yeah. So then from there, as I spent time with him, running and everything, and then there was a birth of my first business called Penalty Box.
Penalty?
Yes, Penalty Box. Yes, Penalty Box. It's a fitness thing. It's an orange box. It was designed by a guy called Chris Barr in the US. So now, because I spend more time now with Uncle Mohammed, moving around and everything, but of course I don't work for him. So it happened that one day he had to travel again. Yes, and he had an issue at one of his sites again. And then he remembered me. He gave me a call, say, Imaan, I need your help. I'm away. I'll be back in 2 weeks. But it was an honor for him to call me and ask me to take care of his issues at business, even though he has maybe 1,200 employees. But he decides to go pick someone from outside and say to him, come and assist me with this. So which means the first meet, it was a good meet. I left a mark there. Yes, because he can't ask me for the second time when I'm a guy who just likes quitting. You see,
You quit when it's tough.
yes, when it's tough, I'm that guy who just runs away. You see. So then I was like, okay, no, yes. Everything you were saying was yes. Then I went to one of his sites. Then when I got there, I started assessing the problem. Now I already have an idea what a filling station is all about. So as I walk in, I can already see all the problems that are there. And then I knew, okay, fine. Because I'm dealing with people of industrial mindset, I first need to sit down with them. I need to be patient. These are guys that you have to tell them not to do something.
When you say people of an industrial mindset, what do you mean?
Industrial mindset, it's those people that I would say maybe they have not really been to school. Yes, and their kind of job, it's more industrial. Yes, it works with hands. You see,
Laborers and so on.
yes, laborers kind of people, because they use hands and to be able to make ends meet. So I realized that these are young guys, and these are guys that you have to tell them something more than 5 times. And you must be very careful in terms of how you address them, because those are guys who can just react anytime. Yeah, they can
Have a
react
short
anytime.
fuse, yeah.
Yeah, so you first have to be able to get into their mind to be able to control them. Yes, so I went there. I was able to turn around his business, and everything fell into place. And from the oil company, he received a review that we see that there's been a bit of improvement there and there. Okay, things are looking fine and everything, you see. So when he came back, now that's when he said to me, look, I need your services now. Now we had a formal thing. He said, I need your services now. I said, what kind of services you want? No, I want you just to pass by 2 of my filling stations every day. Just 2. I just need 2 hours of your time. 1 hour there, 1 hour there. And then you'll be able to go. Please. And I'll pay you this much. Okay. Well and good. So one person is very grateful. And the money he was saying for 2 hours, I was like, someone actually had to work 8 to 5 to get this money. Someone can come from outside and say, that's money is too little. Maybe I'm doing something for Mr. Mogobe, and then I tell someone, no, I help Mr. Mogobe with just taking files and taking them up there. He's giving me this much. So people now will say, no, Mr. Mogobe is giving you little, man. Looking at how Mr. Mogobe is living. But Mr. Mogobe has worked for whatever
length of time,
he is, you see. Yeah, so then I really enjoyed it, because now there was nothing that actually was putting me under pressure. So I was like my own boss. So that's how everything started. So, and he would not try and monitor whether I went to that site or not. So I had to do something, because he picked those sites knowing that they have a problem. So I always
You didn't have to submit reports.
No. I didn't have to submit reports. I only had to give him a call before I take any action. Yes, because I was that guy who was just so quick to discipline all the time. So I always had to give him a call, because it's something that will affect his business reputation.
Yeah.
So I played within my scope. Okay, internal disciplines, everything and stuff, but something that I know will put his business image out there and everything. I always had to call him, and I always had to say, if maybe there was a dismissal issue, I always had to. He always asked me, why do you think you have to dismiss that person? And I'll have to explain this, that, everything, and he would understand. He'd understand. Yeah.
Thanks for that background. I wanted to let you just share it freely so that people have an overall picture. Let's talk about Chand Pule, which is your current economic endeavor. First, explain the name Chand Pule, and then tell us a bit more about what it does.
Okay. Chand Pule is a company that was incorporated last year. It's a fairly new company. It was incorporated in 2023. Yes. Chand Pule, actually, it's 2 surnames. Chand stands for Mohammed Chand. Yes, the current MD for Diagnofirm. And then Pule comes from Pule. Yes. So it's a company that was incorporated based on an opportunity that came Kauai. Yes, it's a restaurant called Kauai. Yes, it's a food restaurant. So when I approached Dr. Chand, being Mohammed Chand, and told him there's an opportunity that I've been able to identify at Virgin Active. I know the owner.
The Airport Junction.
Yes, at Virgin Active at Airport Junction, and I told him that I know the owner, and then he said, okay, fine. So it's something that I also want to get into in terms of the space. And I would say when I approached him was me trying to help the previous owner who wanted to lay it off. So because he knew my associates, he gave me a mandate to try and help him get people to be able to take it off from him. So I approached few of my associates, and I ended up with Dr. Chand, Mohammed Chand, and he said, okay, I understand that business. I know it. I used to stay in South Africa. I know it's a good business. I'm interested, but T's and C's. I said, okay. Okay, what are the T's and C's of this thing? He said, you become part of the business. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, but there are funds. Money. And I don't have that money to be able to pay that money. He said, no, it's not a problem.
The cost of buying the franchise.
Yes. I said, and he said to me,
and then wage bills and so on.
Yes, because remember, I'm from managing a business where you find systems in place. Because managing a business and running a business, I learned those are two different things. Because you are just managing people and systems that are there. But running a business, you are creating those systems. And it means for you to come up with those systems, you are always going to do trial and error. This worked, this didn't work.
At least initially.
Yes, you get it. And the sad thing is, whatever error you encounter running a business, it's going to cost you money. You get it? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I have a food exposure because I used to do chicken lickings around, just moving around, checking controls, making sure that they cook wings properly, the shops are clean and everything. Do the same thing at the filling stations, making sure that the guys are in uniform, the systems are working, the product is there and stuff like that. But now, here's the thing. I'm about to become a business owner. I'm going to have to run this business. I've never ran a business before. I've only managed a business. But then I said, okay, not a problem. I'm just agree. Then I have to go and tell Uncle Mohammed, here's an opportunity for me that is coming. Because now he's a man that I've been spending time with. Yes, now. And he was very happy that actually I have an opportunity. And then he said, you know what, Imaan? I trust you. And I know you'll definitely do well. It's an opportunity that you can't let down. So I went back to Mohammed Chand. We then negotiated and everything. We started going back and forth. And he said, okay, fine. First, I was like, because I don't want responsibilities, I was like, okay, fine. I'll take 20% of the business. Yes, just for me to help you. Why? Because I don't want responsibilities. I've never been in a partnership situation where you have to account to someone as your business partner. I'm just scared. So I'm just saying, no. I'm just asking for less so that the responsibilities doesn't lie with me. It lies with the major. You get it? He said, no, we're going 50-50 in this business. We're going 50-50 in this business. I would loan the business. And as we loan the business, both of us will work to pay the loan back. I said, okay, well and good. That's fine. I think it's something that I can work with. So then from there, Chanpool, then what we did is we went through the whole process of acquiring the business and everything was done. And then in June, I went to South Africa for franchise training. I had to be there for 6 weeks. Yes. 6 weeks, I was attached.
Intensive training,
intensive operational training, where I would learn everything A to Z. So then I was attached at Bel Air in North Riding. They have a gym there, Virgin Active gym there. So there's a similar store inside. So that is basically where I was based. So I had to go to South Africa and stay there for those 6 weeks. So the whole time I was there, I was learning about the business. So I know everything about it. I had to learn how to prepare wraps, make smoothies, make coffee, do banking, being a cashier. You see, so I
learn how to use the software.
Yes, learn how to use the Micros, which is the system that we use it's our point of sale software, which is the one that we use. So I had to learn all these things.
I know because I've run 2 franchises. So
yes.
2 franchise restaurants. I know what it entails. It can be hectic initially.
Yes, yeah. But at the beginning, I was just afraid to go I actually wanted to send someone, a manager. Just send someone there to go learn the business. And then Uncle Mohammed said to me, I went through that as well, Imaan. You have to go. If it's your business, you have to go. So that tomorrow, no one can trick you. So I then decided to go there, and I learned the business, and I was happy when I came back. Yes, so now when I got back here in July, then from there we now started recruiting people. Yes, so started doing recruitment, training, and then the business started operating in October. Because again, we were faced with few other challenges also. Remember?
Like getting licenses and
yes.
stuff.
Now, like I said, those are things I've never done. But now I have to start. I have to learn all these things. So
How would you say the restaurant business compares with the other businesses? For instance, the fuel business. What are the similarities and the differences?
Look, the similarities with they're both, they deal with service. You service clients. That's client service based businesses. So it was not much of a drastic change from me from filling station to the food thing. It's just that the wastage in food is just too high. So the shrinkage, so you have to be very careful. Yes, and also food is easy to steal. Yes, you can have stuff theft there, because what I've learned is, as I was running the filling stations, I always used to see that shortages will be more in the store than in the tanks. You see,
So it's easier to steal food than to steal fuel.
To steal fuel, because fuel is just underground. Yes, for you to take it from there, it's going to be something else.
So, having said that, what do you think are the key measures you have to put in place to eliminate, they call it pilferage, right? Theft in a restaurant.
Look, you can't eliminate it. You can only minimize it. So you have to run your own business, especially at initial stages. You have to understand and know your business, and you have to treat your employees equally. You should not have any of the employees that you favor, and you must build that sort of connection, like a personal touch, so that tomorrow when someone is supposed to do something bad, they feel bad, like, but Mr. Mogobe is a nice guy, why should I? You get it? And they could be your ears out there at the end of the day, you see. So it's just a matter of you taking stock all the time and making them understand why you are taking stock. Because some people, when you ask them questions to account, they start saying, you don't trust me. That's the first thing they jump to.
Which is an irrelevant statement.
Yes, you see, you don't trust me. But you're just simply trying to, so you first need to educate them about why you are doing what you are doing. You see. And once they understand that, then when you do it to them, it's nothing. Because they already know. You can't.
How do you respond to that question or that statement? You don't trust me. How should you respond?
Normally, I would say we all have to account. I'm just doing my job. It's not a matter of me trusting you. It's to make sure that you didn't forget something. Yes, that's the most important thing. It's to make sure that you didn't forget something in your processes. Yeah.
Now, any setbacks, any significant setbacks that you've encountered in your business life, one that is worth sharing?
Yes. My business has been operating since October until now. And I wouldn't say I've settled. I still experience challenges. And Kauai is only one in Botswana. And there are over 150 in South Africa. So in South Africa, there are systems that actually have been put in place that actually make the workflow nicely in terms of the business. So when I got this one here, I realized that I'm gonna have a logistic challenges. So when I order stock, because I have to take it from across the border, some of the things that are allowed into the country, so I have to order
More than you need.
more than I need, so that at least it can last longer. Because at first I thought I could order weekly or every fortnight.
Why don't you order your things locally?
No, that I order my fresh producers locally, meat and everything. But there are those ingredients that actually gives them that taste that you can't get them anywhere around. Yes, but there are those ones that are majority I actually buy them locally. But there are those things that actually come from that I have to get from South Africa. Like for example, plain frozen yogurt. I don't know if you have seen it anywhere. Have you ever bought any plain frozen yogurt anywhere?
No.
Yes, and also because we are a health shop, restaurant kind of thing, so we get things that are actually sugar free and no salt at the same time, because we are trying to go healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
So logistics, honestly, it's a challenge. So first I thought I could do like South Africa, get a logistic company that can be dropping for me every week. Then I realized no, every time they go is a charge of transport. So you keep learning, you like,
So it cannot be avoided.
It can be avoided, but it can be mitigated. You can now make a plan. Do I order weekly or do I order monthly? But you can't just order monthly at the start of your business without knowing the consumption. So what you have to go through that hurdle. Ya go lose money go transport. And only now I'm starting to understand exactly what is going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your academic background is in accounts, right?
Yes, sir.
Were you chartered? How far did you go?
No. I went as far as AAT.
AAT.
Yes.
I want to know how that training of being an accountant advantages you when it comes to business. Is there any distinct advantages from having an accounting background to be a successful entrepreneur?
Tata. Guy will hela tata. You see, hela accounting, accountability. So the module of audit is the one that actually really helped me a lot, because every business, for it to run successfully, it must have auditors. I'm sure also here at Mogobe, I guess you have internal auditors just to check your compliance and to see that whatever systems you have built here, actually people are following them. Those payments that are made, is there a supporting document? You see. So to be honest with you, accounting really helped me in the entrepreneurial space, and it's the one that actually I used when I was with full time with Uncle Mohammed. It's what I used. So operations. So he would just tell me that this is what these guys need to do. So I'll just get there and then I'll just ask questions. Why is the nozzle like this when it's supposed to be like this? Why are you offloading from the truck without cones when they have to be cones? You see. So those are things that you look at. Why are you on your phone in the forecourt? Why are you not doing
when
this?
It's against the rules.
When it's against the rules, you see. So you first need to understand the business. Then you know exactly what happens from there. You see. Yeah.
Okay. Would you advise young entrepreneurs out there to get an accounting skill before they start a business?
Yes, I would advise them. There's even a business course, because business course has got an accounting module in there. That's, I'll say, even a business course will really help. Yeah, so that at least you have the background of what you're talking about. And also, my advice is, if you are not from a family of entrepreneurs, just pass through corporate or become a worker somewhere, just to learn one or two things, just to learn discipline, learn few things, so that by the time you get outside, you already know what is expected of you.
You went to Mascom as part of your course. Do you go anywhere else?
before I went to Mascom, actually, I was at that call center while I was still studying.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to answer phone calls.
Uh-huh.
Yes, at Orinoco. So I used to answer phone
so
calls.
that's
there.
probably where we met. 'Cause you guys were my tenants for the longest time.
Yes.
In by Game City there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I used to actually take calls there. It was nice. I used to enjoy it.
Yes.
And then when I was about to finish, actually, then I was like, you know what? I'm finishing. I can't still be at the call center. Then I decided to go ask for a job at Mascom.
Yeah.
Yes. I went there. I remember I just had to look for the manager of retail.
Yeah. So can you explain that a little bit more? Why you encourage would-be entrepreneurs to go through the corporate route first? I think you need to explain a bit more because people may not readily see the advantage.
Yes, like I said, if you're not from a family of entrepreneurs,
which most of us aren't.
Yes, Botswana, we aren't. So that is why I would say you'll have to go there, because in a corporate setup, you understand the reporting. Especially if you go there with the mind that you want to have your own business, right? Work in an environment where in a business actually that is in line with what you want to do. So you can start learning from there and understand exactly what is happening. So you would learn mainly the reporting, because most of us, we just go to work and we work for paycheck to paycheck. And we don't work for the next opportunity. We don't work for tomorrow. So we now work for the culture. So that is why you find someone in one place for a very long time. Sometimes it's, I enjoy working with Mr. Mogobe. I can't go anywhere else. You get it? But if you work for the next opportunity, you know that even if tomorrow you are to leave Mr. Mogobe and do the same job somewhere else, you'll excel. You'll
excel and you'll be more useful later.
Yes.
Coming back
at the end of the day, you see. Yeah. So that thing of reporting, it brings a lot of discipline, because someone holds you accountable. If you, unlike when you just start and become a business person, you have never been held accountable. You just own a business, and then who can tell you what to do and what not to do?
Yeah. I also gather from what you've explained that you are not hesitant in seeking mentorship from other business members of the Indian community who are very successful, and others. So what importance in the light of that do you attach to mentorship, and why have you prioritized it in your entrepreneurial life?
You see, to have someone that you look up to, it's very important. It's something that I never used to take serious. I would say I want to be like Cristiano Ronaldo. Actually, no, that one is my age mate. Who do I aspire to be? Let's say back then, maybe I'll say I want to be like Dwight York as a striker and score goals back in the days, you see. But not realizing that Dwight York is far. I have a striker locally that actually I could look up to, who's already playing, maybe let's say Dipsy Sololwane, and say, if I want to become a striker, here's Dipsy, I can get in touch with him as and when I want, and I can seek advice from him and everything. But then I was looking at someone who's far, you see. So now, having a mentor, that person actually can mold you into becoming a better person. Because if I associate with you, Mr. Mogobe, I'll be more concerned about my behavior outside when I'm not with you. And especially that when people know that if anything bad is to happen out there, of course, but I have to understand that
it reflects on me.
It's going to reflect on you. But Tata is now going to say to you that, how do I take this man serious when he behaves in this manner? How do I even invest my time on him when he doesn't want to change or become a better person?
Okay. So time to have a little bit of a shameless plug and share your triumphs and your successes. What you do say are the highlights in your career that you are willing to share?
Okay, I would say it would be my current business that I'm currently operating. It has opened my eyes, and I've seen that actually there are lots of opportunities in Botswana. It's just how you execute them. Right? There are lots of opportunities in Botswana, and in every industry. I honestly believe there is no saturated industry here. Because I'll give you one example. Just from opening Kauai and looking at my spending, I realized that fresh produce industry, it was a very good initiative for our president to close it down.
To close the borders.
To close the borders. It's before I owned a business, when I was just a consumer, I used to be like, I want potatoes. I just want to have some fresh chips. I don't care. But now I'm starting to realize that actually that was a visionary thought, that these things in future will make us a country as a sustainable nation at the end of the day. I spend a lot of money on fresh produce. And most of the disadvantaged Botswana, I'll put it in quotes, they own Masimo. So if I'm a guy who's an entrepreneur who wants to get into fresh produce business, what do I do now? I have to go to that lady in Masimo. So ba go simolla go tsena go na le madinyana yano from Masimo a bone.
Yeah.
I get it, they don't see the opportunities, but at least the land is going to be utilized. And from the land being utilized, they'll realize the opportunities later on. Even if they don't realize them, but the children can actually realize that ngukuna netse Mr. Mogobe Masimo a go ka kwa. And tloka bana ikala traka tsa Mr. Mogobe di sna go thotha kwana di ile ko boketekete ka kwa di ile go dropa. Wa bona. So go ra re go ha gona le madia. Wa bona go na le botshelo go hana. Wa bona. So those are the things that I actually have been able to learn. Even in the logistic business, I used to ask myself, what would the logistics? Those are professions that I never used to have interest more so. But now I understand warehousing, I understand distribution, I understand logistics, I understand fresh produce. You see, now me becoming an entrepreneur, I've been exposed to 5 other opportunities that are there. I can feed myself in all these things. I already have a client. Who's that client? Is my existing business. If I was to get into any of them, they won't run down because they already have one client. Because all you need is just one person.
Because you're already spending money on those things.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm going to be spending maybe 10,000 or 15,000 a month on transport, I might as well just get my own truck. Get a truck, lease it somewhere to one of the distributors. And I know as and when it goes, it can also collect my stuff.
That's very smart. That's very good that you explain it that way. Now, you mentioned the importance of Mr. Checks Lekalake in inspiring you to get into business originally. What role do we have, or rather what obligation, if you like, do we have as businesses or as business people who have been helped, have received that boost, that helping hand, to go back to those people who assisted us and to thank them and to appreciate them? And while you answer that question, I want you to express your appreciation to this pivotal man in your life.
You see, Mr. Lekalake, after me meeting him, actually, he's a very selfless man. Yeah, he's a selfless man who likes helping people. Yes, he, like all my experiences that I said with me and him, what he has done for me, the kind of help that he has given me as I was actually in my life. until I am where I am now with Mr. Mohammed. Because if, to be honest with you, before you can interact with me, you want to know who are my friends. Yes, and for Mr. Mohammed also to become comfortable with me was for him to see me with Checks, who's also an entrepreneur. So I would commend the two of them, Mr. Mohammed Ismail and Checks. Checks we might not be keeping in touch
as much as
before, but we still call each other and find out how we're doing, how's everything. I visit him as well, you see, and we do keep in touch. And he taught me, he showed me what entrepreneurship is all about. He also advised me on the mistakes that I've made and what to avoid as an entrepreneur, because you see, as you acquire things and become more successful, some challenges come. You see, yes, I consider myself to be successful because I have something that I can point to.
Yeah.
I don't need 100 things for me to say I'm a successful person. Yes, and now getting to Mr. Mohammed, he always says to me that, Imaan, don't kill the cow. Tot actually bua ka Setswana. Ska bola kgomo e re gama. O tshwanetse o e tlhokomele. Go gore la ha o ka eletsa mogatla mo kgomong eo o se ka ba wa kgaola. Nwa mashi. Because the moment o kgaola mogatla, go gonna le some impact.
Don't kill the goose that lays the golden egg.
Yes. Wa bona go ntsa. So o tlhola mpolela yalo, and he's one person, after he told me his story, how long it took him to be where he is, then I realized that I haven't been grateful in life, and I've been so impatient. When he told me it took him over 40 years for him to sit comfortable, and me, I've just been going up and down because I'm just
complaining after 3 years that business is not doing well.
It's not 3 years is even long. I used to run away in 6 months, to be honest. So he taught me all those things, that Imaan, you have to be very patient. And he always used to say to me, look, I can give you money if you want money, because I like you. You are like my son. Hey, if you want money, tell me, I'll give you money. And also, if you want knowledge, tell me, I'll give you knowledge. And then I chose knowledge over money because I prefer to learn how to fish. So that is why I always say to people that you can't show your skill of fishing from the same pond where you were taught how to fish. You see, I've been with him and I'm still with him, but we're not doing business together. I'm doing business somewhere else, because this is the pond where he taught me how to fish. So now I have to show my skill. I have to move from here and go do business somewhere else. You see.
Why is that important? Why is that necessary?
It's necessary because it also shows your growth as a person. That, okay, you are there as my mentor or someone who I rely on to. And then from there, what happens is, can I stand the test of times in your absence? And sometimes it's nice to do it while your support structure is still alive, so that you don't get surprises when tomorrow they are not there. You get it? So now, fortunately, I moved from this pond, which is the Ismaili group where I learned from, and then now went and opened my own shampoo.
This is fantastic.
Yes, me and Mama Chand, we had the same interest. It's just business. Before business, if you were to ask us how many times we've encountered, minimum time. There's what he saw in me for him to feel that I can be in business with this guy and loan the business money.
Yeah.
You see. But most probably, it's because of my associates. Who is your mentor?
And what's your track record?
And what is your track record? So integrity, it's very, very important. It's very, very important. I always tell people that, look, it doesn't matter the position that you are in, but how you interact with people is very important. It's if you want to stay long and be respected for a long time, you must be consistent with your behavior. Yes, that is the most important thing.
All right. In Botswana, restaurants have had a troubled past, and I can count in my hand the ones that have lasted. Why do you think restaurants are not doing well sustainably in the long term in Botswana, and what can we do to address that?
Look, restaurant is a job. It's a demanding business. You can't run it part-time. You can't run it as a hobby. You can't. So most of the time, these businesses, they collapse because they are run as a hobby. You see, like myself, I'm at the store every day. I open my store, I close my store. You don't know the feeling of just seeing how things start off. Just imagine if I didn't go to my shop this morning before I came here. I wouldn't know if they had everything to serve customers.
For the day.
For the day. Or even for the time. Not even for the day. For the time I'm away. Did they have everything in stock? If I just decided that, hey, I call my supervisor, hey, sharp, or run it from the camera because I have access to the CCTV. Can check out, okay, 4 or 5, and then leave. It's important to pass by your business. If it's one, I don't see any reason why I can't be at my business. If I'm not there, where am I?
Yeah, but answer my question. Why we're failing in Botswana?
I'm getting to that part. We're failing because we don't. The first one, I would say sometimes it's knowledge. We see Mr. Mogobe doing well in the property industry or in this restaurant, and we want to get into that restaurant because we're just looking at his physical appearance, and we said there's money there. So we rush there and get into that business, not understanding now the running of the business. Like I said earlier, running and management are completely two different things. You see. And then the other reason is we're just running them part-time. We don't spend more time on them. We don't want to learn them. We don't sacrifice because it takes a lot of sacrifice. You see. And the advice, because I would have not gone into a food industry or into a restaurant like that one if I didn't have any experience. That interest actually grew from me spending time at Chicken Lickens. Also with the petroleum industry, it's something that actually grew from me spending time in the petroleum industry. You see, and that is why in the petroleum industry, a company like Fuel in Motion can say to me, here's our expansion plan, help us expand. Imagine an oil company saying that. It's because people are looking at you, people are watching you, every move, every step you take.
Yeah.
And those who have interest in you will come to you and approach you for you to offer your services to them. You see. So having spent time in the food industry, that is why I'm going back to the part where before you open a business, work for the business that you actually want to open. You see. Yeah.
All right. Let's just grab that crystal ball, sir, and look at you as a brand and the business of Chanpo over the next couple of decades. Tell me what you see. What can we expect? What's the long-term prognosis there?
The long-term, our plan, me and my business partner, is in the next, when we reach 50, yes, when we reach 50, we should not be working. We should just be passing by our businesses. Yeah, just checking how things are and actually what is happening. So we have planned that every acquisition we get is just for us to expand it. Like currently, we want to grow the brand for Kauai. We have tested the market. There's been a proof of concept, rights or Bereka and everything. And actually, just to add something onto it, recently in February, we won the Best New Franchisee Award.
Congratulations.
In South Africa. And because the guys at Kauai, they recognize that we don't complain. I'm that guy who doesn't like complaining. I won't say Gagona say, Gonale say, or Mr. Mogobe has been put in an advantage over me. I always had to make a plan. So which is the reason why we actually won that award, is because they were looking at the royalties we are paying with 5% support that we are getting from them. And that is why, and it was so encouraging, because as and when you engage with these guys from the franchise, you think the whole time they want to crucify you. They don't see the challenges that you go through. But I was really humbled when
they gave you the award.
Yes, I'm one person who never cries, but that day,
for the franchise to succeed, should you be attached to a gym all the time?
No. That is why I'm saying to grow the brand now, we're looking outside.
So in other words, there are others in South Africa that are not associated with gyms.
Yes. Yeah, there are ones in Mogobe City Square, Kobo Flamingo Mall, Greenstone. Yeah, they're just Rosebank. They're just all over. Yes, even overseas also, they are not even attached to the gym.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, this is the part of the show where you get to ask me a question if you have one.
Yes. Okay. Does it only have to be one question, or I can ask you a couple of questions? Can we engage now?
Let it be just two maximum.
Maximum two. Okay. What inspired you to get into the whole entrepreneurial industry?
Initially, I think it was my mother's influence. She started opening a Simausu Kogasi. And as youngsters at secondary school, we used to go there after school, and even when I was at varsity. I didn't know what she was doing was entrepreneurship, but I could see how since she started that, we were never short of groceries in the house, and that she was much happier. And she started another sewing business as well. And beyond that, I think you'll have to read it in the book. I talk about it. But I think she had a powerful influence. And after being a rigid lawyer for the number of years that I was, there was an event that triggered me to take it a bit more seriously when I was facing the possibility of losing my law license. So it's something that I also discuss in the book. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other question would be, the last one would be, so what is it that you are doing currently to make sure that the advice or the influence you got from your parents goes down to your children or your loved ones, looking at the current situation in terms of the challenges that we have now?
There are two things I'm doing mainly. One is to try and lead by example. Two is to involve them. The three ones who are already adults, I involve them in the business. One is in charge of the restaurant and is helping with construction. One is helping, you just seen him now, he's helping with the podcast and with other technology things. And the third one, the oldest, is part of Mopond. Mopond is our brokerage and agency division. So I'm trying to interest them in the business. The last one is still at school, but during the holidays, I get him to participate in the business as best we can. So my role is just to expose them to the business and to encourage them to learn more, and I want to learn from them. So that's the best I can do. If in the end they want to carry on with the business, that would be hallelujah. But if they choose to go other routes, they would at least know what's involved in running this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much.
All right. So, as we conclude our conversation, Rapule, I want you to look at this camera here and leave the viewer with a few words of inspiration, uplifting words for that they can take home.
Okay. Now, what I can encourage people out there, I wouldn't say youngsters or anything. What I would like to encourage people to do is we have to be patient in life. We have to be grateful, and we have to listen to our elders. That is the most important thing, is for us to listen to our elders and to take their advice. Because how ka lebella ba khone go re godisa gore re nne se re leng sone gompieno with the little that they had, and there is no way e ka re gompieno ke tla ke tshwere pampira go sekolong e be ke fila gore ke botoka go na le nkuku go na le motsadi wa ka. So a re etseng bagolo go gae and make sure that we also protect our integrity, because it's the most important thing. For before anyone can invest in you, they do a background check on you, because they want to understand the kind of person that you are. If you uphold your integrity and make sure that you are an honest person, then you'll never go wrong in life.
Fantastic. Now, kindly share your contacts, including on social media, where people can reach you.
Okay, I'm available on my cell phone. You guys can call me on +267 72477 466. And then my restaurant is at Virgin Active at Airport Junction. Unfortunately, it's not a walk-in restaurant. You have to be a member of Virgin Active for you to be able to go inside. But you can actually place an order and just do a pickup from there. Yes.
Okay. And all right. Thank you so much. And social media, did you mention something?
Social media, I'm only on Instagram.
Okay.
Which is
under the name Imaan Pule.
Yes, under the name Imaan Pule. And my other business, which is Penalty Box for Fitness, it has a page called Penalty Box Fit _BW.
You didn't talk much about that one.
Yes.
Where is it operating from?
It's currently operating at Molapo Crossing, at the facility of Mr. Obonetse Muthelesi, and also at the Fields Mall.
Okay.
By the pedal tennis courts.
Okay, so though they just an old-fashioned type of gym, or does it have?
Yes, it's an outdoor. It's just an outdoor gym. We use the grounds for us to exercise.
I have a friend who manufactures this outdoor gym equipment. Let's See Toilet. Do you know him? Are you partnered with him? Oh, you don't know him? Okay. So it's an outdoor gym.
Yes, it's just an outdoor gym. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to invite you back to come and talk about that one.
Yes, no, anytime.
On another podcast.
Anytime.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.